Hello, and welcome to another episode of Millionaires Are Made, the show where we believe you can be a millionaire in all six aspects of health. That's right. Every Wednesday, we share tips to improve your physical, intellectual, social, spiritual, obviously your financial, as well as your mental health. Today's episode is how to improve your mental health with focus. If you have never seen Millionaires Are Made, this is the show built on the fundamental beliefs that every person you meet knows something you don't, and there's something to be learned from everyone in this big, beautiful world. Here at Millionaires Are Made, we are on a mission to teach the world how to grow into the healthiest, happiest millionaires in all six aspects of life. So we went and got three awesome guests to give you three awesome tips on how to improve your mental health with focus. And in the spirit of authenticity, to remove as much bias as possible, we do not talk about tips or advice before the show starts in our green room. So when our guests share their knowledge, it will be our first time hearing it as well. Audience, this is an interactive show. We highly encourage you to comment and ask questions. We will respond to them live on air, so you get your answers immediately. And real quick, this is our time. We like to shout out some of our followers because it's 2026 and they're required for us to continue going. So thank you so much for following us. If you want to be shouted out, just hit that follow button. On Facebook, Ron Young, thank you so much. On Instagram, Corp Radio, you guys rock. TikTok, Jennifer Crosby. And on YouTube, Pod Skits. Thank you all so much for following. We are always looking for lots of things on this show to help it keep running. First off is guests. We have a mission to have 8 billion people on the show, and that starts with you signing up to be a guest. We would love to hear what you have to say. And as you know, everyone has something to share. So we want to hear what you got. We're dropping the link right now. Click it, sign up as a guest. We would love to have you. Another thing we're always looking for is topics. There's a lot of stuff in this world, and we are on episode 212, so we've covered a lot, but we always want to know what you guys want to see and what you want to hear, so we are also dropping that link. You can drop a topic idea, let us know what you think is going to be the next thing you want to learn about, and we will do all the work to find the experts to go get some advice for you. And what else we got going on? Obviously, if you like what we do, please hit that like, subscribe, share, send stars, whatever it is. It definitely helps us keep going and growing. Lots of cool things to announce, actually. Recently, merchandise was launched, I think a month or two ago. If you believe that every person has something to share, grab a shirt, join the mission, join the cause, help us grow and teach the world to grow. We also now have courses. So if you are curious on how we went from 0 to top 100 on for podcasts within 2 years, we are going to tell you exactly what we did and how we did it. So if you're interested in our little courses, they're like 99 cents. We want to keep them super affordable so everyone can grow and teach and learn. That link's being dropped right now. What else we have? Oh, that's going to be fun. So we also, something I've always done, well, not always, that's a lie, but something I've done a lot recently is free growth sessions. I've been a business coach for almost a decade now, and now I do it for free. So if you are interested in learning or talking to me or anything of that sort, that link is being dropped right now. You can go to growwithaustin.com. Love to hang out and talk. And a final announcement before our sponsors is we are launching our next segment. Millionaires Are Made has been so much fun and so awesome, but we will be moving on. We're continuing the show, but I will be moving on to our next segment called Billionaires Are Made, where we will be taking our guests, our best guests from Millionaires Are Made, and having a much more in-depth one-on-one conversation with them. I believe we will be going live on Fridays for that show. Obviously, the rebroadcast will be going all week long, so keep your eyes peeled for Billionaires Are Made. And before we bring in our first guest, this show is brought to you by Sarah Jones. Buried in debt and a failing marriage, Sarah found a better way to handle money and now helps others do the same. As a financial coach, she guides couples, individuals, and small businesses to build fun, healthy money habits. Learn more at keepingupwiththejonesesfc.com. Sarah and her husband, I know them personally, and they used to not have the greatest life. And they kind of wiped their slate clean and relearned finances and marriage as well. And now they travel the US in a giant RV with like 7 cars and ATVs behind it, living the life. Our next sponsor is Parent Win Solutions. Parenting is tough, and no one warns you that half of it feels like guessing. Parent Win Solutions is the partner you wish you had on day one. No lesson plans to memorize and no videos to binge. Just simple steps to cut stress and help you connect with your child without losing your mind. If you want a calmer home and a guide to who actually gets what real life looks like, this is your place, Parent Win Solutions. Our next sponsor is Bonnie Hartle. Bonnie actually was a guest of our a few years ago when she was homeless and now has grown into an amazing woman. I mean, she was an amazing woman there, but now owns an Airbnb in Atlanta and hosts women's empowerment group retreats. She's a coach in Atlanta, Georgia, specializing in mindset, gratitude, and personal development. She has a very unique approach, combining her special vision boards with the wheel of life. You can go check out Bonnie now. And our final one for now is Brian Wright. Brian Wright is the king of publishing. If you want to publish a book or need to publish a book or edit it, Brian's the guy. He also runs the Ultimate Achievers magazine, where you can get your brand in front of high-level entrepreneurs and personal growth leaders. Go check him out and say hi. And that brings us to our first guest. Please have a warm welcome for Coach Willie. Coach Willie, tell us, who are you?
Yes, I'm Coach Willie. I'm the high performance dyslexic coach, and I help dyslexic entrepreneurs and professionals to get clear on what they want, stop second guessing, and to make more income with their dyslexic edge. I'm a father of 4 girls. We just had a baby girl this last month, and I'm a girl dad who's just thank you. Just love doing fun stuff outdoors, but also love just playing Pokemon in my free time with my kids. So just all around.
Play Pokemon.
I'm Willie.
You play Pokemon cards or Pokemon Go?
I collect cards with my kids. Pokemon Go is usually what I go to.
Nice. Awesome. Well, Coach Willie, I've got a question for you. If I wanted to improve my mental health regarding focus, what tiny piece of advice would you give me?
Amongst the chaos that we feel in our heads, the best thing to do is to pick one. I call it my pick one theory. That's it. It's pick one. It's so simple. Because there are times where the people that I've worked with and myself, we get into this analysis paralysis. There is so much going on, just like if you go to a buffet or like a family reunion and you go halfway down the line, your plate's full, and it's just like, man, those cookies, those brownies, they're looking good, but ain't no way I'm fitting it on my plate. Do I grab a second plate and everyone else thinks I'm fat, or do I go back and pray that they're there the second time I go? And it's like we get so overwhelmed with the thoughts and ideas that we have that we don't unload them in some way. And so the pick one theory comes from just that. It's amongst all the chaos, just pick one. Pick one thing that you can do today.
Do you have a little technique that can help you pick? I mean, do you pick a right one? Is there a method to how to process of elimination? Tell me a little bit more about what you mean by how. Actually, tell me more about how to pick one.
For sure. First, you want to know what you want, because if you don't know what you want, there's nothing to really go for. And then you reverse
engineer. That's a question everyone's asking right now.
Yeah. But it's just like, if you want to get healthier, the pick one is do a push-up. If you want to read more books, just go to the bookshelf, grab a book, and start reading chapter 1. If it's you wanting to start your own business, well, then look up what your business entails and figure out either how to start the LLC or jump into the skill of sales and how to do that, or the marketing side. If you want to start a podcast, grab your phone, hit record, and start putting out the first episode. We do things messy. And so it's to take that relief off of our minds for the mental health of overstimulation, over worried, and especially as dyslexics or neurodivergent individuals, we feel overloaded. And from a society that tells us we are below average, we just start with what's simple. We do 2% each day. And we do that by simply just pick one thing. It doesn't have to be perfect. Tomorrow it might be a different thing, but pick one thing today.
Pick one thing. Awesome. Coach Willie, tell me, where on your life journey did you learn this advice?
I learned it without its name back in 2018 when I was going from reading one book to 50 books in a year. Saw this really cool statistic. It wasn't motivational or anything. They said 95% of CEOs read 50 or more books a year. And I'm like, it would be pretty cool to be a
book
CEO.
every week. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
It's pretty cool to be a CEO or a business owner. Ain't no way I'm reading 50, especially back then when I read maybe an average of one. But 12 didn't seem too bad. A book a month.
Yeah.
So I went to the bookshelf, grabbed the smallest book I could called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, opened to chapter 1 and started reading. And I went from that 12 to 40 to 50 and now consecutively reading 60 books a year.
So you read a book every week? That's insane.
Yeah. Read or listen.
I mean, okay. Or listen. Okay. That helps too. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Coach Willie, we're going to move on to our next guest, which means you're going to go backstage and we are going to bring out Debra. Debra, tell us, who are you?
Hi, everybody. I'm Debra. I am a marketing and sales expert, a strategic advisor, and an entrepreneur. I host the podcast Deals with Heels. But at my core, I'm really someone who believes a business can only grow to the level of the person running it. So with Hexagon Media, I work a lot on strategy and demand building. And so we talk about tactics. But millionaires aren't made with tactics. They're made with emotional resilience, with identity, with emotional regulation, and the decisions that leaders make every single day.
I love it. Yeah, man, those are very good ways to describe entrepreneurs. Debra, if I wanted to improve my mental health with focus, what tiny piece of advice would you give me?
I would tell you that sometimes when you can't focus and you're very distracted, you aren't in a place where you're in control of what's happening, and that grounding can pull you out of that space.
Okay.
And so grounding is my tip, grounding exercises.
Okay, how do we ground?
There's a lot of really great ways and different methods of grounding. I prefer one called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it will pull someone out of a delusion if you can get them to do it, because it grounds your 5 senses to the here and now in this present place where you're safe. So if I'm really stuck and I can't complete something, and typically I would be really hard on myself and call myself a procrastinator and all of those things. And
we all been there.
right. So grounding will snap me right out of that. And you can do it anywhere. You can think or say out loud 5 things that I can see right now in front of me. And you move down through the senses. 4 things that I can hear. 3 things I can feel against my skin. 2 things that I can, where am I? Taste, and go through them until you get all the way down. Now, all 5 of your senses are clued into I'm here right now in this space where I'm safe, and it will pop you out of fight or flight and allow you to take those small steps that Coach Willie suggested. Boy, I can snap right in it. And I'm like, okay, here I am. I'm back.
Yeah. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. Where on your life journey did you learn this advice?
So in 2020, I really started my life over in my 50s. I lost my marriage of 20 years. All of my kids, 5 kids I raised during that time, had left the nest. And my mother, who I took care of when she had cancer, she lived with me off and on for 5 years, had passed away. And I was really overwhelmed with grief, just big emptiness. And even when you choose to not have a marriage, for example, it creates empty space. And that empty space is grief, and you have to grieve that it's gone. So I was in grief counseling, getting professional help. And while I was there, I learned so much more. But I was in one day with my counselor, Fred, and I was on about really venting about my procrastination, being hard on myself, went through, he let me go. He let me go and go and go till I got it all out. And then he said, "Debra, you're not procrastinating." And I said, "You're not listening to me. I just told you every way that I'm procrastinating and how I'm being lazy, and I don't know why I can't do this work. It's not something I'm not capable of. I can't do it." And he said, you're not procrastinating. You're in fight or flight. You're the deer. You're in freeze." And I now know, and he gave me multiple grounding exercises, and 5 4 3 2 1 is the one that I like the most. And it was such a relief to know that I could stop being so hard on myself, and that and now I know I was in functional freeze off and on for over a decade, where I would pop in and I felt really stuck, and I can do all this other stuff, but this one thing, for whatever reason, I can't do it. And now I realize that for whatever reason, that triggered fear in me. And it's not a rational fear. It's not someone chasing me, but I am literally stuck and cannot make the decision to do it. And when I'm in that place, 5 4 3 2 1 will snap me right out of it. And I'm still amazed by it today when it happens. And I'm like, okay, I can go do the thing. Because when I was distracted and I couldn't do it, I would do anything instead. Oh, look, my ex-husband's calling. Let me take that call. Anything other than what we need to do. And if you're in that place where often we are as entrepreneurs and with ADHD, then sometimes grounding will pop you right out of that. And it has been an incredibly valuable tool that allowed me to focus at a time when I didn't think I was capable of doing it.
Wow. All right. Awesome, Debra. Thank you so much. We're going to move on to our next guest, and we'll bring you back out for the round robin. Brownie, 5 4 3 2 1. Now we've got Thriver Matt coming up. Matt, can you tell us, who are you?
My name is Matt Melvin. I wrote a book called Bullied Behind Bars, a gay Christian Trump supporter goes to prison. I wrote it the second time I went to prison. I went to 10 different institutions, spent a lot of time in solitary confinement, and that's where I started my discipline. Reading my Bible every day, praying, fasting, and exercising.
Praying, fasting, exercising. All right. Well, Matt, we're going to hear about your story, but I have an important question for you. If I wanted to improve my mental health with focus, what tiny piece of advice would you give me?
Don't allow someone else to live rent-free in your head. Forgive those who have done wrong to you. Forgive yourself.
Don't allow others to live rent-free in your head. How do we do that, Matt?
Step one is forgiving yourself. If I don't love myself, I can't love another person. Accepting the strengths I have, identifying the weaknesses I have, and identifying the opportunities and the threats. SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats.
Okay, awesome. All right, Matt, where on your life journey did you learn this advice?
Second time I went to prison, 10 different institutions. I was on a really bad time in my life. I was being dishonest, lying, stealing, cheating, and it really wasn't leading me anywhere. And I had a near-death experience in August 2015 where I was almost killed by an out-of-control driver driving on 495, driving 70 miles an hour, which is pretty slow. I've been known to go 130. No guts, no glory. And that was the time that I believe God was drawing the line in the sand, saying, you're either going to do my will or you're going to do your own will, and you're going to go through this vicious cycle of going to prison, coming out, reoffending. And I didn't want to have that life.
So that was the moment, huh, Matt?
Yes.
All
I
right.
believe we
Well,
all have a time period that God says, you're either going to do my will or you're going to do your own will.
man, what a good if only everyone could see that moment when it's actually happening. Right?
Absolutely.
Matt, you ready to bring everyone else out and start our round robin section?
Yes, bring everybody else out.
Here come Coach Willie and Debra. Audience, this is a great time to ask questions if you have any. Otherwise, we will start with Coach Willie. Can you quickly refresh what your tip was for us?
Yes, it is amongst the chaos of everything going on. Simply pick one thing to do today.
Pick one thing to do today. Debra, what are your thoughts on Coach Willie's tip?
I think it's fantastic. If you can break something down into a small step that's easy, right? Like he said, one push-up, that one choice, and it can start the avalanche of you being able to do the rest of it once you get the yes going in your mind. I think it's great advice.
What are Thriver, Matt? What do you think about Coach Willie's tip?
You need to start off with a small, measurable goal, and you have to attain that before you can grow. And I also would add that you need to find an accountability partner.
Accountability partner. Okay. I agree with that. Great tip. Great tip. All right, let's move on. Debra, can you quickly refresh what your tip was for us?
My tip was about grounding and how it can pull you out of fight or flight so that you're able to move forward and focus on the task at hand. And it involved the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Awesome. Do you want to refresh what the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method is real quick?
Sure. It takes you through all 5 senses. So you can do it even sitting talking to somebody if you feel yourself really feeling stuck, or I guess any kind of fight or flight in that instance. And it goes through naming 5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can touch, 2 things you can taste, and
okay.
what one did I leave out?
One thing you can smell?
Smell. That's it. Smell. Yes, smell. And it grounds you to the here and the now and the present. And this is a safe place where I am. I don't need to be in fight or flight over my task.
All right. Matt, tell us what your thoughts on Debra's tip.
For me, it's the 6th sense, which is faith. I have faith in God.
Ooh. Okay, 6th sense to add on. Does that go at the 0 or at the 6? We have to do 6 things.
For me, the 5-step doesn't work for me. Prayer works for me,
Okay.
but I think it's really important for everyone to know what works for me, what works for Debra will not work for everyone. The key takeaway for me is to try different things and see what works for the individual.
I love it. All right. Coach Willie, what are your thoughts on Debra's tip?
I absolutely love it. To bring everything just back to the present. Because how many times have we either been with kids or coworkers or strangers as we're talking to them, and it's like, I'm here, the words are coming in this ear, but also going out. I'm thinking about things in the past, I'm thinking about things in the future. But to be able to just take in exactly what you can do now through that 5 senses method. Incredible to just take you. I think it was Master Oogway from Kung Fu Panda. There's like, the past is history, tomorrow's a mystery, but today is a gift. And that's why they call it the present.
All right, I like that. Let's move on. Matt, can you quickly refresh what your tip was for us?
My tip was don't allow someone else to live rent-free in your head. Forgive yourself, love yourself, and then you can love and forgive other people.
Love and forgive other people. All right. Who's up? Debra, what are your thoughts on that tip?
I really like the tip of not allowing anyone to live rent-free in your head. One of the things that helped me so much to stop being a people pleaser and stop worrying about what other people thought and watering myself down to make other people feel comfortable were some words from Sadhguru. And they were that you only have control over one thing. One thing. People can make us do things physically. We can be convinced to say things, but our thoughts are the only thing that we have control over. So, and they control our emotions. Nothing else, just our thoughts. So when you allow someone to make you upset and have an emotional response, you gave your only power away. And so I think that's great advice. Don't let anyone in there. This is me. No matter what kind of chaos is happening around me, this is me.
This is me. All right. I love it. Was it Coach Willie? What are your thoughts on that tip?
At first, it sounded just kind of the motivational, don't let other people in your head. But when it came and connected with me, it was the part of loving yourself. Because you got to love yourself. You got to love the good stuff. You got to love the bad stuff. And by doing that and doing something every day to really share what you love to do, then it comes down to you grow that confidence within you. You start loving yourself, and then ultimately the people who are outside of your head don't need to be there because there's no place for them. Of course, you'll take their opinions and you'll take whatever the love that they share. But other than that, your values come back to your soul. So I love it.
They can keep their opinions.
What other people think of me is none of my business.
Very true. Kind of. I mean, yeah. That's a hard topic there, Matt, because obviously other people's opinions affect how you're treated and how your life goes. If everybody in the world doesn't like you, it's going to be very difficult to have good social health and move forward in other connections and relationships.
I would say that, but that's jumping to conclusions. You're making a general notion that everybody doesn't like you.
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point. But I mean, opinions still somewhat matter. I mean, your reputation matters. And I guess if you love yourself and you're staying true, there will be people in the world that will also love you as well. Does that sound fair?
Yes.
And I think it matters on a professional level, right? We work on our brand, we work on our image, all of those things. Yep. So it definitely matters. But for me and my mental health and my soul health, it doesn't matter.
Okay. All right. Nice little distinction there. Coach
Willie?
Willie?
I agree with that, with Debra, is that opinions help to build the perspective in which we can't see ourselves. So we just know the information from our experience, our senses, everything that goes on in our own life, whether we call them challenges, traumas, joys, whatever it is. Our life is built from all of that. But we shouldn't change who we are.
Yeah, I think that's what Matt's trying to go at.
Yeah, we shouldn't change who we are or what we are doing if we're building something that's our dream or our wish or our goal. That shouldn't be influenced by that one negative comment that comes in on YouTube and saying, you should go back to your day job. But instead, let it be used as the lesson. If it's just one opinion, you can just be like, well, thank you for sharing, and just keep going down. If there's a commonality to it, well, maybe there's some time for self-reflection and saying, okay, maybe if this doesn't affect my soul and it's just like people want to see different types of content, well, then Sure. We'll talk about different types of content. Just like what's on here at the very beginning, you asked for, if you have any tips that you want to hear as the audience, let us know. And if there's tips that come up, well, then there's going to be some episodes about it because that's what people want to hear. So we change what we do on the outside, but not change the inside.
After 212 episodes, I'm all out of ideas now.
Like, people are so awesome. They help us out.
Yeah. All right, guys, we are at the point in our show where we have to complete our daily challenge. So here's what it is. We must come up with a task and or tiny series of tasks that takes less than 5 minutes a day, costs $0, and is available to anyone in the world that helps us improve our mental health with focus. What ideas do you guys have?
Turn your cell phone off for at least one day of the week.
Turn it completely off or turn off like airplane mode?
Turn it completely off.
Oh boy, bro.
That would be hard for me for business. I mean, I would have to be off vacation in order to turn it completely off. But I definitely have all social media on timers. I have a limited amount of time available to spend on social media, so I need to spend it for the things that I have to have done, so I don't do any doom scrolling at all. But I think it's unrealistic to expect somebody to be able to do it for an entire day if they're an entrepreneur, because their cell phone is how they conduct business. And so unless they take the whole day off, but as far as scrolling and all of that, it definitely makes sense.
So we could do, first off, turn on your phone usage timer, and then we could say, reduce it each day by like 1% or from the day before, and that can help us lean towards it. Funny enough, I actually about 2 months ago turned off my phone service, so I only have Wi-Fi now. It's been freaking amazing. And when I have to work, I get Wi-Fi, or I spend time in my office or my house, and now I don't have cell service at all, and it is really nice. So I like that tip a lot, Matt. But for the general user, let's say use your phone 1% less than yesterday. All right, that's a simple task that can help us remove some of the distraction. And if you love it after that week and you're 7% less, then maybe you keep going until you're at 0, or at least 0 for one day. Does that sound good for you, Matt?
I think it's really important to start off small and then build up from there. And then the other piece that's really important is to find an accountability partner and make goals that are measurable and concrete. Not, I want to lose a lot of weight. What is a lot of weight? Be very specific.
Agreed.
That actually could be enough of a challenge right there. First off, finding an accountability partner can be a bit challenging depending on your goals. You may need multiple. You might need one that joins you in like weight loss, like your suggestion, one that helps your business grow, one that makes you read more books like Coach Willie. But so I put in spend 2 minutes talking to your accountability partner and then increase that every day as well. So, I mean, in the beginning, it might be like, I lost a pound, I lost 2 pounds, this and that. But actually, the more you talk to an accountability partner, the better off it is, which is why so many people hire coaches, because that's half of coaching is just telling people to do shit.
And holding them accountable to do it.
Exactly. Wait, you didn't do that last week. I told you to do that.
I really like the unplugging part, and I often recommend with my clients that they spend 5 minutes a day with nothing. It's very difficult to do. I'm an avid meditator, and lots of people say, I can't meditate, I can't clear my mind. And that's the point. Meditation is the process of clearing your mind. So if you just start with 5 minutes and you were so inundated, like Matt said, with all of the stuff from social media. So when you do finally quiet, your mind's racing because all of that stuff has been waiting to be heard. It couldn't be heard over all of everything else, the thought data coming in from everywhere else. So really stopping unplug completely, no music, no screens, nothing. I prefer to do it outside and start with 5 minutes a day. And you will be so
Eventually get to 24 hours in one day, like Matt
surprised. That's where I want to be, doing that for 24 hours a day. That would be fantastic to be unplugged the whole
Right.
time.
Every day you can work towards it. Awesome, guys. Well, we got our daily challenge done. So we are all set here. I'm going to put you all backstage and wrap up this episode. Thank you so much, Thriver Matt, Debra, and Coach Willie. And thank all of you for watching another episode of Millionaires Are Made. Real quick, we have two last sponsors since that's what powers the show. First, we have Brian Parana, who founded the Call to Rise Ultimate 100-Day Fat Loss Challenge for men 40 plus. This guy is crazy awesome, super smart, will help you drop 20 to 30 pounds, skyrocket your energy, and transform your body with personalized nutrition and strength training. Join the Brotherhood of Unstoppable Men, crushing it today, thecalltorise.com. And our next final sponsor of the whole episode is Ben Thinking About Your Health. Ben offers nationwide PPO health insurance with the freedom to choose any doctor, ideal for healthy individuals and businesses. Their cost-effective, tax-deductible plans provide top-tier coverage while saving you money. If you have any questions on health insurance, Ben knows more than every health insurance person I think I've ever met put together. Yeah, he's fantastic. And thank you so much for watching another episode of Millionaires Are Made. Our daily challenge is to reduce your phone usage 1% every day for this next week. That'll bring us down 7%, and I bet you'll notice serious differences. And to find an accountability partner for one of your goals, concrete goals, and spend 2 to 4 minutes a day with them to help you achieve your goals and focus how to